something's kind of off. You see, when we look at this right here, it looks like it says 1720, right? But that's an I. That's not a 1. And there are a number of buildings, a number of doggone coins that have that right there. Now, upon my research, come to find out that this was a known thing for them to do because it represented the year of the Lord. So this was really 720, the year of the Lord. What does that mean? You see, they didn't use the name Jesus. The name Jesus did not come around to the 10th century, the letter J. We're still dealing with 720. So they would mark it with an I, representing Asa, Jesus, the year of the Lord. There are many buildings, there are many coins with this here, and we don't know what we're looking at. And see, now it's starting to make a little bit more sense because I always wondered, how could these Tartarian buildings last so long? Because sandstone has to be in excellent condition to get 1,000 years out of it. And then the mortar that's in between the sandstone, that's going to decay. And then we know it wasn't that long ago when they tore down the White City right up there in Chicago, Illinois, when they called it the doggone the World's Fair. Something's not right. And see, now with these airships like this here, these airships, they used to run off of ether technology. And they used to use that red mercury as well to propel these things. These things could stay up and these things could run forever. They didn't have to come down to refuel or anything. They would run forever. Kind of makes you wonder about the story when they say the Lord coming down from the clouds. I want you to think about this. Because they say there's a phantom 1,000 years that is added onto our timeline. And see, now, just think. They said Jesus was born in the year, they try to say he was born in the year 1, but some people say he was born in the year 7. 7 BCE. Asa, the year of the Lord. Imagine this. Imagine if we know the story of the Moors conquering Spain in 711 to 1492. That's the story that was given on to us. What if that happened in 7 BCE, that the Moors took over? And then they ended up falling out of power in 711. And then someone decided, as they began to rule, they decided to tack on another 1,000 years. This changes everything. When you study about that brick and the mortar and the time that it would last, a lot of these buildings, it doesn't make sense for a lot of these buildings to still be standing. Especially here in North America where we have violent winters. And I live in Ohio, and we definitely got these Tartarian buildings and castles here and palaces here. But I'm starting to see that sandstone on some of these buildings is starting to deteriorate. And this is something else that I've noticed. I've noticed that some of those buildings are falling apart with the red bricks on it. But as they fall apart, you should find a whole nother layer, a whole nother wall of red brick up under that. See, that ether technology was a monster, and they needed that red brick to use that. I used to pick up at this one company where I used to pick, I don't know the name of this stuff, but it was this red light powder. And I asked the guys, I said, well, what is this stuff used for? He said, we use this to make magnets. Come to find out, that powder that I was picking up is the same stuff that they doggone was using in them red bricks. They give it an electromagnetic, or give it to make it hold electricity, or to give it a current. Somebody's playing games with us. As far as we know, we might really be in the 1400s right now. And they tacked on all these years, and they're like, ah, yeah, look, they make it look like we was been ruling this thing here, but maybe they probably only been, they ain't even really ruling this damn thing. They're still trying. I don't know. I'm gonna do some more investigating on this here, but this changes everything. Because if they're big enough, if they made these things big enough, and they said some of those things were big enough where people actually were walking around and they would have rooms inside of this area up here, if that was possible. But look how big this carriage is on there. If these things were big enough, now we have to question the whole thing about the pyramids. Because we've always wondered, how in the hell did they get the stone from this area over here to those pyramids? They either had water pressure cutting them stones, or they had doggone some kind of lasers. But I'm banking on water pressure. And they were cutting them stones, loading them up right here, flying them across, and then setting them where they were supposed to be. And this wasn't that doggone long ago. Because a lot of that stuff that's existing right now, it should be deteriorated. A lot of these buildings, a lot of these structures that we see right now, they should be deteriorated. I'm going to keep on looking into this. And I'm going to get back at you. Peace.